Okay, so just to give you like a general idea of on using the erg when you get into the gym, typically you want to just set yourself up to make yourself comfortable. I personally put my feet low. I want to have my knees out of my face up at the catch being this front end position. So I would set my feet low, and then I set my drag, or the 1 through 10, in between around 3 or 4, which gives you about a drag of 110. The reason why I would do this is because that number most closely mimics the load that I would get on the water. So the way that the erg is similar to the water is you get that load on the wheel. The way it's different from the water would be just that when you're on the water, you're dealing with a different element. So wind, obviously water, every stroke's kind of changing, balancing with others in your crew. So kind of similar analogy to comparing it to cycling on the road versus a stationary bike, or running on a treadmill versus running on the trail or on the road. So I think it's a really good way to get your base up, to train that load, to train the range of motion of the rowing stroke. All right, so 3 important things that I think about when I'm rowing would be length, power, and connection. Connection more so maybe on the water, but something you can also focus on and teach yourself to do better on the actual erg. So length is going to come from your body posture. You're at the finish and you come out, swing forward, and you compress into your catch. So you're getting that length through your range of motion. I'm breaking it down a bit choppy just to show you how you would get in that position. I think rhythm is also really key. So you want to get yourself in a cadence that's repeatable and something that you're able to apply pressure equally per stroke over a long period of time. So you don't want to be able to have a really powerful stroke and then not be able to keep it up and maintain it. So I personally work on like a cyclical rhythm. So when I'm going to smooth out, now I'll smooth out the stroke, trying to keep it long and trying to keep it powerful. So in some ways it's kind of like a clean with a chain on a seat. You're kind of doing multiple, from that catch position like a clean, driving through, up and around, and going back to your catch to do it again. So that's why I think some of the big lifts and stuff are super helpful. Deadlift, similar, down at the catch, driving up through to the finish. And cleans as well are quite helpful lifts when it comes to rowing and erging, and why it all kind of ties in quite well. And then also bringing up your heart and your cardio. As you can tell, I'm already out of breath just from doing very little. I think that also ties it all in together quite well. So power and aerobic fitness. So as most rowers would probably admit, the erg is a bit of a torture device. It's something that we use as a tool and we have to almost learn to love in a way, but it's not one of the most easy pieces of sporting equipment by any stretch. Really good ways to make it more fun would be to break it up in small chunks or increments and break it down either with stroke rate, strokes per minute, or with time commitments that are short enough or long depending on what you kind of like to do, to be able to break it up and to keep you mentally focused during a very repetitive, painful, and a bit monotonous type of activity. You're not getting that dynamic feel of a changing environment like you do on the water. So you got to think of mental tricks and games to kind of keep yourself entertained, and we all do it at every level, and that never goes away.